one of the hardest tickets to get in your hands right now. The creators of South Park brought their musical, The Book of Mormon, to Broadway. So what can audiences expect? Well, Jake Tapper is back. You're a big South Park fan. You went behind the scenes. What'd you see?
Well, the creators of South Park have gone from skewering religion, politics, and culture on Comedy Central to now doing so on Old Broadway.
I'm going down to South Park, gonna have myself a time.
For 15 years, Trey Parker, Matt Stone, and the crude kids from South Park, Colorado have been amusing and offending America.
Well, gay people are evil. Evil right down to their cold black hearts.
For 7 of those years, the two have been working on a show that will take their skewed views to a different audience, fans of musical theater. Next week, the Book of Mormon opens, poking fun at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Your show, South Park, has made fun of every religion. Why go after Mormons?
We grew up in Colorado, so Mormonism and Mormons, although it isn't Utah, it's right next door, so there's just a lot of crossover there, and we both knew a lot of Mormons growing up. And it's always fascinated us. But, you know, we used Mormonism in the Book of Mormon to just talk about religion in general, because, of course, to anybody's religion, to an outsider, it's just as goofy. I don't think either of us think Mormonism is any goofier than Hinduism or Christianity.
We started talking about other ways to talk about Mormonism and sort of what the religion's about. And we realized that most people's first interaction with it is with missionaries and with those guys in the white shirts and ties that ride around on bicycles and go door to door. And
Parker loves musicals, a love that has infected Stone. For years, their work has involved show tunes, whether on South Park.
It's hard to be a Jew on Christmas.
The South Park movie, one song from which was nominated for an Academy Award. Or Team America World Police, featuring a marionette of South Korean despot Kim Jong-il.
I'm so lonely, so lonely.
But the Book of Mormon brings a whole different level of ambition.
none of us ever sat down and said, okay, let's go after Mormons, let's get them. You know, and how can we do that? Let's do a Broadway show. You know, I love the format, and I love the old music. I love the classics. I love Oklahoma and South Pacific, and you know, mostly the Rodgers and Hammerstein musicals.
We just covered an enormous amount of ground that you just couldn't cover if you didn't do it through song.
It is an edgy work, typical for them, but they insist Mormons should not be offended.
They're so happy-go-lucky, kind of optimistic people, and they kind of have that cheesy factor that just it's like Mormons, Disney, Rodgers and Hammerstein, it all kind of makes sense. Mormons are just they're just happy people, and so you're going to get a happy musical.
Have Trey and Matt softened? I interviewed them 5 years ago. Now both have children in their lives. Trey a stepkid, Matt a 1-year-old son.
He's going to know some point in the next few years that you do a cartoon show, Daddy.
Right.
Can I watch the cartoon show, Daddy?
Yeah, you can watch it. You can watch it, sweetie. I think there are people who are 30 who shouldn't watch South Park. You know, I have some friends who shouldn't be watching it. I definitely think that I've always thought South Park about 12. 11 or 12.
11 or 12?
Yeah, that seems about right.
I'm stepdad to a kid now who's 10, and so, but I have the luxury of a South Park. He's like watching South Park. And I'm like, what episode is it? And then we went to. He's seen the show a couple times, and I can sit there. We sit on the steps at the theater, and then we're watching. He's really liking it, and then certain songs come on, and I go.
Earmuffs.
Yeah, really? There's some hardcore stuff in the show, but it's not worse than a lot of South Park episodes. We're able to pretty much say, when people ask, oh, can I take my kids to this? We're like, do you let your kids watch any episode of South Park? And if they say yeah, then it's like, yeah, bring them.
They insist, though Mormonism is the target of their skewering in this musical, the show is a general statement on belief. Stone calls it an atheist's love letter to religion. They like Mormons.
We're probably going to have 2 Mormon Republican presidential candidates. John Huntsman, former governor of Utah, current ambassador to China.
Free tickets on us anytime they want to come.
And Mitt Romney, of course.
And now, we're pretty sure, because of our show, one of them will win.
One of them will win?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, because of our show, both of them will win.
The statement from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints says, the production may attempt to entertain audiences for an evening, but the Book of Mormon as a volume of Scripture will change people's lives forever by bringing them closer to Christ. Right.
All right, so you saw it last night. Give us your review.
Well, if you're easily offended or religiously devout, especially Mormon, I would stay away. But for me, I have a sick sense of humor. I thought it was brilliant.
Well, he said it best, if you allow your kids to watch South Park, do you agree with that, then it's okay to see the play? Do you think?
The edgier episodes of South Park, yes.
All right, the edgier episode. We saw another side of Jake Tapper. All right, Jake, have a great weekend. Thanks for bringing that to us.